Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Luann and welcome to my kitchen. We are prepping some freezer meals. This will be the last set of meals out of the Better Homes and Gardens Make Now, Serve Later cookbook. The first thing we got to do is we need to slice up this. It calls for 3 pounds of lean boneless pork. I'm using deer because that's what I got, and pork steak is expensive unless you find it on sale. So I'm going to cut these in strips, and of course it's frozen. You know me, so I'm going to just cut them in bite-sized pieces. We're going to make 3 different recipes out of this. But you will only see 2 for this month of July. Well, I might go ahead and throw that in. And while I'm cutting this up, I'm going to take the fat and probably put it back in the freezer so I can make some beef broth. I laid out, it called for 3 pounds. And I know I should have a different knife than a paring knife. And this stuff is still frozen, y'all. Still frozen. Hope you could see me cutting that up. So I'm just going to cut these in bite-sized pieces. That's what I'm doing. I actually am using deer round steak for this. And for this set of freezer meals, we are making, for this prep, we are going to make Stroganoff style pork, which we're using deer, meat turnovers, and hearty meat soup. So that is what I'm doing. I've already prepped my onions and my onions and my peppers that I need for that. And that I did that in a live on my other channel. So back in June. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this up, and you'll see the rest of it later. So we've cut up our deer. Now we're going to take half of that and brown it, and our onions as well, and peppers. I've put all the meat together and the onions, and I measured out 2.5 cups. That is what we need for the first recipe, and I think I'm not going to be able to do all 3 recipes because it was supposed to have been, let's see, 6, 7, hold on. Yeah, it was supposed to have been 8 cups. This didn't make 8 cups, but that is alright. I may just divide it like this. Well, I'm going to put all the rest of this in a bowl and then work on it tomorrow for the other recipes that we're going to use this basic meat mixture for. So the very first recipe that I'm making is a freezer meal, which I'm not putting in the freezer. I got 2.5 cups of our deer mixture. I'm going to add some Worcestershire sauce. To that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of ketchup. It was supposed to have been a 3-ounce can of mushrooms. I only got 4 ounces, and these are drained. Some beef broth, which mine is deer broth. Then we need to stir this and bring this to a boil. Get this all mixed up. This is going to be tonight's supper. So we need to bring this to a boil. I do have water on the boil as well for. I forgot to get egg noodles. I got something else, so that is what we're using. Sometimes you got to use what you got on hand, and that is what our grandparents did all the time. So I'm going to need to bring this to a boil, and then I'll show you the next step. Got 1 8-ounce container of sour cream. To that, we're going to blend 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. We're going to mix that together real quick. So I'm going to get this all mixed up while I'm waiting for our meat mixture to come to a boil. Now that our meat mixture has come to the boil, the sour cream we've mixed up, we're going to slowly add some of our meat mixture to that. And then we're going to mix this together. Mix it really good before we add this little slurry mixture back to our meat mixture. I'm making deer stroganoff, stroganoff style deer. That is what I'm making today. So now we're going to go take this mixture and we're going to blend it in with our meat mixture. So we're going to blend this in here. Oops. Get it all over my camera too. So I'm going to stir this in. I'm going to turn the heat down as well. And then we need to cook this until it is thick. Now, if I was going to put this in a freezer, I would contain it and I would actually put it in the freezer container just like this. And then, of course, label our container. I'm going to turn it off. I got to wait for our water to boil. I probably should have started the water first, the noodles. But this will be our supper tonight. So, like I said, if I wasn't fixing this tonight, which I am, I would be pouring this in a freezer container of sorts, and then labeling it, letting it cool down, putting a lid on it, and then that's what we would be doing, but I'm not planning on doing that. This is supper tonight. So,